Oliver, Tesco reported results today, half-yearly results, and it's obviously the big UK supermarket chain, and they're not very good, and I think it's probably indicative of the various challenges that Tesco faces on a lot of fronts at the moment.
Yes, that's right. The numbers were disappointing. They fell short of what City analysts were expecting, and the shares are down 3 or 4% today in it. So it's another disappointment from a company which is becoming a sort of serial disappointer. And the difficulty is that there were problems on all fronts. The UK business, still the biggest by far in Tesco, is underperforming and struggling, although they're trying to change things around there. Europe was a particularly poor performance, has businesses in Central and Eastern Europe. And in Asia, the performance wasn't great either. Their Korea's been an issue.
I mean, obviously the sort of core of Tesco, and the reason why investors buy it, I presume, is because it's the UK supermarket of choice. And everything else is peripheral to it, isn't that the case?
Yes, that's right, and it's becoming even more peripheral. Tesco under Phil Clark, its chief executive, is pulling away from some of its bigger international operations. It's sold its Fresh and Easy chain in the US. It's also put its Chinese business, which had been struggling, it's now put that into a joint venture with a local Chinese supermarket operator. So it's kind of pulling its horns in a bit and really focusing on turning around the UK business.
Because it's always seemed to me that Tesco was really too big, that it had gone beyond the sort of growth stage in terms of expansion in the UK. Is that fair?
Yeah, well, it's certainly physically it's gone beyond the growth stage. It's pulled back its plans for opening new stores. It's still opening stores, but not nearly as many as it was. And its plan now is to expand digitally and online, and it's just to introduce this new tablet computer that it wants to sell. So it's got lots of plans to grow, but none of that's really coming through. Sales growth at the moment is kind of 1 or 2%, if that. Profits margins are flat. It's struggling to get any sort of growth. And of course, online is a very competitive space.
Yes.
It's up against an awful lot of big and powerful companies.
And of course, it needs the UK economy to be doing really well as well.
It does, yes. Consumers are very price conscious, as they always are in the UK, and that just leads to price wars between the big chains. And Tesco talks about investment in pricing sometimes, and this just means it has to cut price to get people through the doors.
Okay, well, Tesco reported results today. The market was a bit disappointed with them, and I think it's the company that is really struggling to sort of reinvent itself. Thanks, Oliver.